Score big on authentic gear at MLBshop.com. From official jerseys and memorabilia to hats and hoodies, visit MLBshop.com/Mets, the official source for your Mets gear. Themes of the game are brought to you by Bet365.
Well, fastball Freddie, which he was originally called, has been throwing a lot of secondary pitches. His velocity has been down just a bit. Lorenzen, we showed that 7.48 ERA. He's struggled so far, getting used to Mile High Stadium, and 10-16 record. They didn't win their 10th game till 60 a game. They were 7-33 to start last year.
Last year, that 10th win came on June the 2nd. On April the 24th, Freddie Peralta will face the Rockies. First pitch is coming right up.
People are looking at you right now, of course, and they're wondering what all that is that you have on, and maybe you can explain it. I know you can do it better than I.
Well, I guess a doctor would explain. You break blood vessels when you pitch, and they expand and swell, and the way to take down that swelling is with ice. And hurt my back a little in the second inning, so that's why I got some on my rib cage here. So sort of look like the Elephant Man here, but
you really do.
That was great preparation for your broadcasting career, Ronnie.
Who knew anyone that was so bad in front of the camera could last 21 years? It's just remarkable.
What's that stuff on your shoulder, Ralph? Oh, it's ice.
It's ice, Ralph. he should have known a little bit about ice.
I think, it's like a lawyer. You don't ask questions unless you know what the answer is going to be. Rockies lineup brought to you by MSC Cruises. Mickey Moniak, 4 for 5 with 2 home runs yesterday against San Diego. So they move him up to the leadoff spot for the first time this year. Kyle Karras, if that name seems familiar, that is Eric Karras' son.
And Freddie Peralta, you see that ERA, we're talking about leaving men on base, but he's had really good success in the past against the Rockies. 4-2 in his career, 3.49, and has always pitched pretty well in Mile High. One of the few pitchers that can say that.
Mickey Moniak, who was the first overall draft pick coming out of high school 10 years ago by the Phillies. Never panned out there. Some decent production in Anaheim, but they released him a year ago spring training. The Rockies swept him up, and since June the 1st of last year, no player in baseball has a higher slugging percentage than Mickey Moniak.
Well, I'm proud to say Carshield is bringing our defense today. They can see Benjamin left. Taylor gets to start. Luis Robert Jr. gets a rest. Beatty, who had a big game in right field. Bichette, Mauricio, Simeon, and Vientos in the infield.
Did you have a little car trouble? You needed some Carshield support?
But I might need some. So,
Freddie Peralta's 6th start for the Mets. Moniak leads off. He's DHing tonight. Peralta's first pitch is outside for ball 1. And it's always a good idea against the Rockies to not make the first pitch too tempting, because they swing at more first pitches than any team in baseball, and they've been the most productive on the first pitch. Moniak fouls it back, and it's 1-1.
Moniak coming off 2 home runs on yesterday, so inserted right into that leadoff position.
The Rockies on first pitches of at-bats are hitting .433 with an 1164 OPS. Both of those are the highest numbers in baseball. And Moniak flies one out to right, and Brett Beatty ambles over. 1 out.
Now, when you hear those numbers, what do you say to yourself? Boy, I can't throw a strike in the first pitch. Just the opposite. Throw a quality strike. You might be able to get some easy outs and some low pitch innings.
Here's Hunter Goodman, who won a Silver Slugger as the best hitting catcher in the National League. 31 home runs last year. He's already hit 6 this season. And he chases a high fastball, and that's what you're talking about, a tempting pitch that you can't do damage on.
Goodman does not let a fastball pass. He is a free swinging guy who loves the fastball.
And that really is the temperament of this entire Rockies team. Peralta comes inside with the changeup. The changeup has been remarkably effective for Peralta.
I find it interesting because he does drop his arm a bit before he throws the changeup, which would tell you that maybe he's telegraphing it, but the hitters cannot see it, and maybe because of the velocity he has on that fastball.
Over his last 3 starts, hitters are 0 for 16 against that changeup and just 2 for 27 for the season. 1-2 to Goodman. T.J. Rumfield, the rookie first baseman, is on deck. 1-2 coming, and it's foul back. Ronnie noted how successful Peralta has been at Coors Field. 1.59 career ERA at Coors Field. His ERA is almost 5 against the Rockies when he pitches anywhere else. Go figure. And the breaking ball got him. Good slow curve by Peralta to strike out Goodman for the second out.
What a great game plan there by Peralta. A lot of fastballs out of the zone, and then when he got ahead, he came with a good sweeping curveball. Goodman, 48% whiff on anything that has spin.
So now T.J. Rumfield, who was in the Yankee organization until this January, traded for relief pitcher Angel Chavilli. Rumfield, originally drafted by the Phillies, was blocked at first base by Ben Rice, and now getting a chance to play every day for Colorado.
Freddie throwing a little harder here in the first inning than he's thrown the last couple of starts.
And Rumfield takes above the strike zone, 2 balls and a strike. Rumfield, 25 years old, came out of Virginia Tech. And takes below the knees, and it's 3-1.
I think the manager, Warren Schaefer, is a Virginia Tech guy as well.
Warren Schaefer, who took over early last season from Bud Black. Now in his first full season managing the Rockies, who have not had a winning record since 2018. And last year had the worst run differential in modern baseball history. But they've changed just about everything in that organization since last year, other than bringing Schaefer back as the full-time manager after filling in last year.
Even have an old Met running the baseball operations.
Paul DePodesta, who came back from football after a 10-year absence from the sport. 3-2 to Rumfield with Tyler Freeman on deck. And Rumfield takes the curveball. Did he go? He did not. And it's ball 4. So Peralta issues a 2-out walk. So now Tyler Freeman, the former Guardian, who the Rockies picked up a year ago spring training for Nolan Jones from Cleveland. Freeman playing second base tonight, and it's hit on the ground right at Mauricio. He gets the force play, and that retires the side. Mets come to bat in the bottom of the first. No score. Bo Bichette coming off a 3-hit night last night, including the game-winning hit in the bottom of the 8th. Getting set to lead off for New York.
I mean, what an ability to get up on top of that breaking ball from Banda. Just missed a home run, a ringing shot, scores 3. The emotion. It was just a beautiful hit after the Mets had squandered the lead.
Michael Lorenzen on the mound for the Rockies tonight. The veteran right-hander's first pitch is hit out to right field. A long run back for Johnston. On the warning track, he runs it down. Bichette giving it a ride the other way, and Troy Johnston going back to get it for a long first out.
Got to be ready first pitch for both of these clubs, obviously. Johnston really made a more difficult play look pretty easy. He got a good jump.
There's your New York Lottery Mets starting lineup. Alvarez hits third for a second straight day. Mauricio down in the 9 hole with Tyrone Taylor getting a start in center field, giving Luis Robert a night off. Juan Soto DHing for the 3rd straight game, and as we discussed last night, the plan was different, but because Lindor is out, they want Soto in the lineup every day, and that's why he's DHing.
Numbers for Lorenzen. They feel as though if he plays in the field one day, they feel obligated to give him the next day off, and they just can't afford to take his bat out of the lineup.
Juan drew a pair of walks last night. He's been on base all 10 games he's played this year. He chases a high fastball, and it's 1-2. This is Lorenzen's 5th career start against the Mets in 5 different uniforms. He's faced them as a Red, an Angel, a Tiger, a Ranger, and now a Rocky. Played the first 7 years of his career in Cincinnati, and he's been a vagabond ever since. Played last year in Kansas City and had a nice year.
We should cue Traveling Man, right, as you made that announcement. Soto hasn't had a lot of success against Lorenzen.
Just 1 for 9 against him. His 3rd game back from the injured list. And he lifts this one out to center field. Doyle going back, and the Gold Glover to the warning track to make the catch. So 2 long fly balls against Lorenzen from the first 2 hitters.
Well, it seems backwards, but you got the car shield already, so let's get a car. So you got the Kia defense for the Rockies. What was that? About 700 feet of outs so far. McCarthy, Doyle, and Johnston in the outfield. Carroll, the son of Eric, at third base. Tovar, Rumfield at first from Freeman. Tovar, he has a lot of upside, but boy, he's gotten off to a tough start.
There's Francisco Alvarez takes a knee-high strike. Alvarez went just 1 for 10 in the series against the Twins after getting off to a hot start. Mets have beaten the Rockies each of their last 8 meetings, including all 6 last year. Last year, the Rockies won 43 and lost 119. I mean, it was a wipeout.
Yeah.
But it was, for most teams against the Rockies, putting up a little more of a struggle this year. They just split a 4-game series with the Dodgers last week. And then we're right on the verge of taking a series from San Diego yesterday, but the Padres scored 5 in the 9th to pull that game out. So they went 3-4 on their homestand. Last year, a 3-4 homestand would be a reason for jubilation in Colorado.
Well, Lorenzen's throwing hard enough. His breaking ball has not hit yet, though.
Given up 40 hits in 22 innings. But he strikes out Alvarez, and the Mets are down 1-2-3 in the first. No score after 1.
In the city that
58 degrees in New York tonight. Not uncomfortable to be in the ballpark.
Well, this is a great shot we got right here. I think it's almost a mirror image of Madison Bumgarner. Remember when he pitched for the Giants? But more so, Matt Harvey used to throw like this, really reach like he was throwing the javelin back to second base before he delivered the pitch to home. Good inning for Lorenzen.
Bumgarner had that extension, but then he threw from a lower arm angle.
Lower arm angle, and he'd show you his whole back.
Troy Johnston will lead off for the Rockies in the second. We saw Johnston late last year with Miami, and he had some good games against the Mets, keeping them out of the postseason. The Marlins put him on waivers, and the Rockies snapped him up, and Troy Johnston is 4th in the National League in batting. He's hitting .325. It'll be Johnston, then Kyle Karras, and Ezekiel Tovar for the Rockies in the second. Johnston slashes one foul, and it's 1-2. Well, there are your batting average leaders in the National League. And I would say that other than Xavier Edwards, nobody would have chosen any of the other 4 guys to be on that list. Edwards has always been a high average hitter.
Yeah, Ryan O'Hearn is a power guy, but he's never hit that high before.
And Andy Pages coming off a 4 for 51 postseason, leading the league in hitting. Go figure. 1-2 to Johnston. Fouls away another one.
You can tell just by the reaction of the Colorado hitters that Freddie Peralta's throwing hard tonight. It's hard to pick up, getting on him quick.
And Johnston goes down swinging through the fastball right by him. Peralta with his second strikeout. That went at 96 miles an hour. In last week's quick pitch poll, 40% of the fans told us the Phillies are the NL East team they most are excited to see the Mets play. Sure. They have the worst record in the National League. Mets will see them for the first time June 18th. This week's question, which area of the Mets looks strongest this season? Scan the QR code located at the top of your screen to cast your vote. Fly ball out to right off the bat of Karros. Beatty coming toward the line and just runs out of room. That sidewall comes up on you quickly and can be very dangerous.
As he gets more experience, he'll sprint over there a little quicker and try to steady himself at the wall instead of timing it, because it's too low there. It hits right into your midsection.
Kyle Karros came up last year with the Rockies. Played in 43 games, hit .226 with 1 home run. Early in his big league career, does not seem to possess the power that his dad had, but he's more of a contact threat. 23-year-old, played at UCLA.
Well, Eric has to be so proud. Not a lot of people know the great career that Karros had. If you asked who hit the most home runs in Dodger history, very few would get it.
Well, Los Angeles
Dodgers
history.
Yeah,
on the outside corner, and Karros is caught looking. He's going to challenge the call. Nick Marley, the home plate umpire. A very low leverage spot to challenge a call. Second inning with nobody on base. And he wins the challenge, though. I mean, you ask for a challenge in that spot, you better be right.
Exactly. That'll get you out of the lineup the next day if you're not right.
So back at the plate with a 2-2 count. And he fouls back the fastball from Peralta. And you're right, Peralta is throwing significantly harder. His average fastball velocity through his first 5 starts was 93.6. And we've seen a bunch of 95s and 96s early in this game. Again, the 2-2. And the curveball lifted out to left. Benj gives a couple of steps of ground and makes the catch 2 out. We already saw Nick Marley calling the balls and strikes. Marvin Hudson is the crew chief. He's working at first base. Rookie umpire Louis Krupa, first time we've seen him, at second base, and Ryan Blakeney at third. Ooh, he's got an extra E in his name.
I know, double E.
I don't know if that's a misprint or if that's correct.
Marketing, branding.
Well, here's Ezequiel Tovar, who's given the Mets fits the last couple of years. He is a guy who will swing at virtually everything. He's got the highest swing rate and the highest chase rate in the major leagues. And this year he's off to a rough start. But last year he had 2 home runs in 1 game against the Mets. And he's got 5 homers and 57 career at-bats against New York. And he lines a base hit into left field. So Tovar may be struggling against everybody else, but he can hit against New York. Ball gets free from Semien, but no advance. So there's the first hit of the game for either side, a 2-out single for Tovar.
Tovar wants the ball. It's been so long. You know what's interesting about Tovar is that he covers just about everything, but he swings at everything as well. I thought this was going to be his year, and it still could be. He had a brilliant WBC for the winners Venezuela, but it hasn't transferred here to the regular season.
Well,
nice hustle, too.
2 years ago, he had 26 home runs and led the league with 45 doubles. Only Shohei Ohtani had more extra base hits than Tovar in 2024 in the National League. But he had injury problems last year, and he's become even more impatient at the start of this season. Here's Jake McCarthy, the former Diamondback, and he pops one foul back and out of play. McCarthy spent the first 5 years of his career with Arizona. Picked up from a minor leaguer in January.
Plays hard. He's kind of the guy that at the end of the game, his uniform's always dirty. Seems to make one great catch a game.
You have got to have speedy outfielders if you're going to play at Coors Field. Long hold by Peralta. And it's a call strike. With Brenton Doyle in center, who's won a couple of Gold Gloves, and McCarthy playing left, and got the speed to cover the ground there. The biggest acreage of any ballpark in baseball. And McCarthy goes down on the changeup. Third strikeout for Peralta, and that puts an end to the top of the second. Peralta with his field. Home second inning. Mets and Rockies no score. Some of the fans on hand for our Friday night tilt at Citi Field. Hi, kids.
That's their team, RB.
Brett Beatty drills one down the right field line, and he's got himself an extra base hit to start the bottom of the second. Johnston digging it out. Beatty takes a turn but holds at second with a double. Well, the first pitch he saw last night, he hit a 3-run homer. First pitch Beatty sees tonight, he scores a double for the Mets' first hit.
It's funny, I was saying, thinking that if Lorenzen had seen the video of last night's game, he would have known to be a little more careful. But he did throw a first pitch breaking ball, trying to get it over for a strike, and Beatty would not allow it. Been hitting a lot more balls on the nose. Nice to see for Mr. Beatty.
4 hits and 7 at bats now in this homestand. Here's Mark Vientos. And Mark takes a sweeper low and away for ball 1. Mark went 2 for 8 in the series against the Twins. He's got a home run on his ledger against Lorenzen. Only 2 at bats against this right-hander. He's 2 for 2 with a home run. And he chops one up the line. Tough play for Lorenzen. He's going to have to put it in his pocket. An infield hit for Vientos.
Vientos, when he had his big year for the Mets in 2024, no one got more of these Vientos singles. Full swing, 45 feet down the third base line.
Yeah, that year he either hit him 450 or 45.
That's right.
So first and third and nobody out. I got wheels.
He's got wheels. His manager said, suave.
He will not be stealing a base in this spot. Marcus Semion's bat has gotten hot. 10 for 33 over the last 9 games. Infield back at double play depth, and Semien takes outside ball 1. Marcus has been the Mets' best hitter with runners in scoring position this year. He's hitting .370 in RBI situations. And Marcus hits it sharply. That'll score a run, and Tovar able to turn it over for the double play as Beatty comes home to make it 1-0 New York. So the Rockies conceded a run to turn 2. They get the double play. No RBI for Semien, but the Mets score the first run of the game.
You know, there's some at bats you say to yourself, boy, that's no good. Hit it to a double play. Ball was hit really hard, and he was going the other way, almost found the hole, just didn't work out. It was the right approach, just not the right result.
It's good process.
Yeah, it's good process, right there.
Here's Carson Bench, who had a double and a home run last night.
Some real backspin on this ball. Just didn't want to come out of the air for Bench. Long home run. Blue collar style.
His second big league home run. And skips in. Ball on a strike. Lorenzen misses with the curveball. 2 balls and a strike. Tyrone Taylor is sitting 8th in the order. He would be next. Michael Lorenzen, now 34 years old, came out of Cal State Fullerton. First round pick by the Reds 13 years ago. And that's lined the other way by Bench. Over comes Doyle to cut it off, and he'll hold Bench to a single. So the third hit of the inning for New York, a 2-out single for Carson Bench.
Gary mentioned it before. Lorenzen's been giving up an inordinate amount of hits overhead. The Bench waits nicely and drives that ball the other way. To me, he's a gap-to-gap hitter. I know he's hit a couple of home runs, but this is the style of slashing, hitting, and burning that you love to see from the young Benj.
Now we'll see if he can steal a base with Tyrone Taylor coming up. Benj is 6 for 6 in stolen bases in his rookie year.
Lorenzen's a great athlete. He's got a good move, and he also has a little bit of a balk move, so you have to be careful.
Tyrone Taylor making his 9th start of the season. Came off the bench last night and sacrificed his only plate appearance. He takes that sweeper outside, a ball and a strike. Tyrone is from the same part of the world as Michael Lorenzen, Southern California. He tops one toward third, a foul ball, 1-2. Here's my favorite Michael Lorenzen note.
Okay.
Michael Lorenzen went to Fullerton Union High School in California. There have been 5 pitchers pitch in the major leagues from Fullerton Union High School. 4 of the 5 have thrown no-hitters.
No way.
Walter Johnson,
Oh, wow.
Steve Busby, Mike Warren, and Michael Lorenzen. The only guy who didn't, Bob Ross, who pitched in a handful of games back in the 50s.
Huh.
How about that?
Mike Warren from the A's?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. One of my favorites. That is quite a note.
I mean, just knowing that you went to the same high school as Walter Johnson, that's pretty cool.
That's right.
But 4 of the 5, he threw this no-hitter for the Phillies 2 years ago against the Nats. Or in 23, 3 years ago. Pulled on the ground and bobbled by the third baseman Karros, and he has no play. And the inning continues.
It took all of his 6'5" to get over there, and it just hit the thumb of the glove, which made it roll around in the glove on Karros, and he couldn't secure it.
So it's an error charged to Karros, who generally is a pretty good fielder. They've had such good fielding third basemen over the years with Colorado, going all the way back to Vinny Castilla, and of course Nolan Arenado, Ryan McMahon more recently. Ground ball by Mauricio right to the bag at first, and Rumfield makes the play to retire the side. Mets get just the 1 run in the second and lead 1-0.
Places.
Mets baseball on Pix 11 is brought to you by Spectrum. It's internet, mobile, and streaming TV all from one place. It's only everything. By Parker Life, we make aging part of life. And by Cambridge Paving Stones with Armor Tech, your outdoor dreams come true. Brenton Doyle leads off in the third against Freddie Peralta and takes a fastball inside. Doyle is a gifted fielder who has had trouble getting traction offensively. And as a result, he has been sitting more often lately. In fact, he did not start either of the last 2 games of their series against the Padres this week. Doyle very famously came out of Shepherd University in West Virginia. First player from that school ever to make it to the major leagues. Hit 15 home runs last year with just a .651 OPS. And Doyle takes strike 3 called. Fastball on the outside corner got him. That's 4 strikeouts, first time through the order for Freddie Peralta.
When you used to work on the side in between starts, you work on throwing this pitch right there. You try to throw it over and over and over so that it's like second nature when you need it. Perfect pitch.
So here's Mickey Moniak, who flied out to right to lead off the game. And he takes first pitch changeup for a strike. There's a good one, and it's 0-2. I mean, that's some heavy company to be sitting with. 30 homers, 10 steals, .550 slugging percentage since the start of last year for a guy who was released in spring training last year. And he goes down on 3 changeups from Peralta for the second out. That's 5 strikeouts for Freddie, including the last 3 hitters.
Moniak is hitting .391 against the 4-seam fastball. So what do you give him? 3 changeups. Go sit down. I mean, all 3 of them were quality changeups as well.
So 2 out and nobody on. Now Hunter Goodman, and he fouls off a first pitch changeup. So Peralta has had so much success with that pitch, and against a first ball fastball hitting team like the Rockies, he's made great use of it tonight.
In fact, the order of his pitches used to be fastball, sweeper or slider, and change. Now it's fastball, change, and breaking pitch.
Goodman lifts one out to right center. Beatty is under it. And that retires the side. 1-2-3 inning for Freddie Peralta. 1-0 Mets in the 3rd.
Slice.
Home 3rd inning. Bo Bichette will lead off for New York, and Steve Gelbs is back for football duty. Stevie?
Gary, I hear I missed a pretty big moment for Mr. Bo Bichette last night, huh? I do think that for Bichette, that hit, though, is going to be kind of a watershed moment for him in a Mets uniform. You know, he's talked early this season about how he wanted to have that Mets moment. And I was chatting with him the other day. We talk about the human element all the time, guys. He said that it's the first time in his career where he has felt himself putting pressure on himself to impress other people. You know, never experienced that coming up with Toronto, an organization that he had known since the time he got drafted. And so it's something he has been working through mentally. He has felt like over the last, I don't know, week, 10 days, he's gotten more and more comfortable. But I do think that just having that moment, that hit in that spot is going to be a big thing mentally to unleash Bichette.
Grounds this one to the second baseman, Freeman. 1 out.
You know, Steve, when he first came up, he came up with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Kevin Biggio, and they were like a trio. So they kind of were so comfortable, even though they were first-year players, and then, of course, they were there for 4, 5, 6 years, Kevin for less. So I think Toronto felt like home. But coming over here, and of course the contract plays a part of that, you just want to be great. I know he wants to be great in New York. He's that kind of personality to me.
And this is a big series in its own right for Bo, because this is the franchise that his dad played for, the Rockies.
Starred for.
In fact, when the Rockies came into existence in 1993, they played their first series ever across the parking lot at Shea Stadium. They got shut out the first game by Doc Gooden. And then Dante Bichette hit the first home run in Rockies history against Brett Saberhagen later in that series.
Wow. He could hit. I remember him when he came up with the Brewers.
He had some fabulous years as part of the Blake Street Bombers. Soto takes a strike, 2-2.
And son, like his pops, Pop had a quick bat. Short stroke, quick bat. Good hair, too.
That 1993 season, first year in Rockies history, Dante Bichette led the National League in hits. Not just a bomber. He could really hit. 2-2 coming. And Soto rolls over one down to first. Backhanded by Rumfield. And Lorenzen covers 2 out. Michael Lorenzen, who spent some time playing center field for the Cincinnati Reds early in his career. He was Ohtani before there was an Ohtani.
He's only 2 players that have ever gotten a win in a game, hit a home run, got a win as a starting pitcher, hit a home run, and played the field in the same game. He and Babe.
I read today Tyler Kepner's sliders column. He wrote about Craig Lefferts, who's the last pitcher to hit a walk-off home run.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, Craig was not a good hitter, but
no,
neither was Rick Kemp.
Everyone, if you swing, you could run into one. I mean, that's the thing about baseball. Ask Bartolo.
Leffers prepared for that by his sprint in from the bullpen. Remember that?
Yeah. They used to sprint in, and we used to be all over him in the dugout. But he was really good.
Well, then Heath Bell took up the sprint, but
Yeah.
you know, he had trouble keeping his footing. 1-1 to Alvarez, and he laces one to short. Nice grab by Tovar and a strong hop, and he throws out Alvarez to end the inning. Tovar won a Gold Glove a couple of years ago, flashing some leather there on a hard hit ball. 3 ground ball outs for Lorenzen and a 1-2-3 third. One of the goals for Freddie Peralta every year is to get a little deeper into games. And how do you do that? Well, you do it by ending at bats quickly.
His last 4 starts, he's had at least 1 inning where he's had 25 pitches or more. That's what really jumps up that pitch count. He is throwing beautifully so far.
42 pitches through 3 innings. That's the way you get through 6 or 7 innings. He's gone 6 once this year, but he's had trouble in some other outings when he gets deeper into the game. Here's T.J. Rumfield leading off in the 4th, and takes a fastball up and away. Rumfield drew a walk his first time up, the only one Peralta's allowed. Well, if you're going to pitch a low pitch count game, this is the team to do it against. They love to swing the bat. Good change up there, and it's 1-1.
And as a starting pitcher, you feel like you should try to go deep today because of what happened in yesterday's game. The Mets got some reinforcements, but still.
That's made a pitching move by sending Christian Scott down, and Carlos Mendoza was very adamant about the fact that it was not about Scott's performance last night, even though obviously that was a problem. It's because they had to use all of their bulk inning relievers, Myers and Peterson and Brazoban, and they even got Minaya up in the 9th inning when Devin Williams was struggling. So they sent Scott down, and they called up the veteran right-hander Carl Edwards, who's been working as a starter in the minors and can give them length if needed. Two and two to Rumfield. And he nubs one right over the bag. A fair ball going down to the tarp. Rumfield heads for second and then slams on the brakes as Bichette ran it down. It's about as soft an outfield hit as you're going to see all year.
Well, he was fooled by the changeup from Peralta out in front of it, and then just massaged it down the third base line inside the bag.
Nice.
I mean, look at that ball dancing on the grass.
49 miles an hour off the bat. With the second hit for the Rockies. And now Tyler Freeman takes a strike. Freeman hit into a fielder's choice his first time up. And he laces one through the hole for a base hit. So a much harder hit ball. And the Rockies have the first 2 men out of the 4th.
You know, you and I were talking about it in the open. They are not a pushover kind of team anymore. You know, you're going to have to mind your P's and Q's and make your pitches and get your runs, because Warren Schaefer, their manager, has them fighting.
And now Troy Johnston will bat with 2 men on. Johnston struck out his first time up. The Rockies as a team are hitting .272 with runners in scoring position. And Johnston is 7 for 16. And he lines one down the left field line. Long one for Benj over toward the line. Backhand rolling catch, and he caught it. He held on. Oh, wow. Tremendous play by Carson Benj just to get to that ball, and then reaching across his body and tumbling as he was about to hit the sidewall. Tremendous play for the first out of the inning.
Thought we were going to see him mostly in right field all season. He's played a lot of left. This is a very difficult play. Rolled over it with his body and still kept it in that glove. It tried to come out again once he hit the wall, and he still secured it.
He went to look in the glove to make sure it was still there, and there was that pearl. So one very difficult out. And there's Kyle Karros, who fouls back a fastball. Karros flied out to left his first time up.
You can't teach speed. The only reason he caught that is because he has the physical gifts to get there. And this ball is working its way away from him with a spin off the left-handed bat. Still makes the play. Taylor knows
Taylor
a little
can
bit about big
appreciate
catches.
that.
Yeah.
1-1 to Karros. Changeup misses low and away. 2-1.
You noticed in this inning, touched up early. Peralta's gone away from his fastball, which was a real strength for him in the first couple of innings.
2-1 and 1 out. And it's popped up behind first base. Vientos, plenty of room. And he's got it 2 out.
That was the fastball there, 96 miles an hour, running in on the hands of Karros.
Freddie's average fastball velocity tonight has been 94 miles an hour. That's half a mile an hour faster than his average for the season. So here's Tovar, who had the first hit for the Rockies. A single to left in the second. He's now 4 for 10 against Peralta with 2 home runs. And Tovar can't catch up with that fastball. 0-1. I mean, if he takes a pitch all night, it's an upset. 3 pitches, 3 swings so far tonight, and make it 4 for 4, and it's 0-2.
Back to the fastball by Peralta.
He's got to bounce one now, doesn't he?
He can go up with that fastball too, out of the zone.
And he got it to chase away for strike 3. 6 strikeouts for Peralta, and he works around a couple of hits with some great help from Carson Ben. What a play. Right in the webbing. Burgers are on the grill. Dress them any you want. Let's see, we got a little tomato and pickles.
Lettuce, pickles.
Yeah. How long do you flip them?
Well, she knows.
But how does she know?
A feel. She's got a feel for it. I don't know, timer.
Ground ball back to Lorenzen. And Brett Beatty's retired for the first out of the 4th. That's 5 straight ground ball outs for Lorenzen. Drive Around the Majors brought to you by your local Honda dealers. Another fine outing for Jacob deGrom last night. 10 strikeouts in 5 2/3. Rangers beat the Pirates 6-1. Jake has a 2.13 ERA.
Another start with 1 run or less allowed.
Yeah, but they got him 6.
Wow.
Never used to do that here.
A different blue over there.
Mark Vientos had an infield hit his first time up.
I feel like when you face Lorenzen, you can really eliminate half of the plate if you're a right-hander. Very rarely is he going to come inside with a fastball. He'll work upstairs with the fastball, but mostly everything's going to be away. He's trying to keep you in the big part of the ballpark.
His ground ball rate has gone up this year, even as he has struggled early in the season. We've now seen him get his last 7 outs on the ground. Marcus Semien on deck. And Vientos takes the changeup down. 2-2.
We were talking about Lorenzen as a two-way player, a hitter as well. You know, his career OPS is 701. There are 12 players in the lineup today that have a lower OPS. I know it's a small sample size, but still.
Still blows away Vientos with a fastball. That's his second strikeout of the night.
It's just such an athletic pitcher. That wingspan, reaching back towards second base, remind me of Bumgarner. Look at that wingspan. Now, Madison had a lower release. Probably you saw all of his number 40 when he turned his back. But the eyes and the wingspan, menacing.
Never forget the pitcher's duel that Bumgarner and Noah Syndergaard had in the wild card game in 2016. Syndergaard was brilliant for 7. Bumgarner went the distance. Connor Gillespie broke Mets' hearts.
Right center field, right?
Well, Jerry's familiar. Semien grounded into a double play his first time, and he flies one foul. 2014, he had as dominant a postseason as any pitcher has ever had. Came back to pitch 5 innings in the 7th game of the World Series in relief. Grounded on the left side, backhanded by Tovar, and the throw gets Semien by a stride. Side retired. 7 in a row retired by Lorenzen. Mets with a 1-0 lead after 4.
The 20.
Friday night crowd at Citi Field. I know that kid.
Some familiar faces. When we started, he was a child.
Jake McCarthy drags a bunt. Peralta sprawling, can't make the play.
I might take a look. Did he step on the plate?
And he's called out.
Yes, he stepped on
Home
the plate.
plate umpire Nick Marley calls McCarthy out. He stepped on the plate before he made contact, and you're not allowed to do that. Warren Schaefer will come out to argue. And I'm not 100% certain whether this is a reviewable play or not.
I don't know either, Gary.
But you called it before the home plate umpire did.
I saw it as soon as
you have to be in the batter's box when you make contact.
I mean, it was a real blatant example of it was a blatant example of being out of the batter's box when the pitch was delivered. I mean, he literally was all over the plate. No need to argue there, but I get it because it would have been a base hit. Watch his left foot, guys.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely completely out of the batter's box.
Oh, man. So, good bunt by McCarthy. It would have been a good start for the Rockies, but you just can't do that.
How do you score that? 2 unassisted, I assume, but what do you call it? Brenton Doyle. I can't remember the last time I saw a hitter called out for that. How did you know that?
Sometimes I know where everyone belongs on the field, and when someone's not in position, I know something is awry. So that's the reason I saw it.
Instincts.
Instincts. Guys trying to bunt on you all the time. I don't know.
It's really the word of the homestand. Instinct.
Yes.
McCarthy's now looking at the replay of it to see exactly why he got called out. Two and one to Brenton Doyle, who struck out looking his first time up. And a ground ball behind the bag, and it hits second base. And Doyle gets himself a fortunate hit. So 2 odd plays in a row. McCarthy called for stepping out of the batter's box, and now Doyle with a pinball cushion shot into center field for a 1-out single.
You could see that as soon as it went past Peralta. You knew that it had a bounce that had a chance to hit the base, and nothing that Marcus Semien could do except run after it just in case it doesn't get too far away.
Now Mickey Moniak, who's 0 for 2, third time around the batting order for Peralta. And Moniak flies one behind third base. Bichette giving chase, but that'll be out of play.
I told you before that McCarthy is just one of those players that does anything to try to beat you. The left foot is completely almost on the foot of Alvarez, out of the box, not only behind the box, but also inside the line to the box towards the plate.
Now, all that is true, and it can still be true at the same time. Grounded toward the hole, and that's a base hit for Moniak. Doyle the second. He'll stop there as Beatty gets to it. So Moniak has his first hit of the night. It can still be true that Jake McCarthy laid down a beautiful drag bunt.
It was as good a bunt as you're ever going to see. You see Doyle there just pause to let that ball go through so it doesn't hit him and produce an out.
So the Rockies now with 5 hits against Peralta. And here's Hunter Goodman. Goodman has struck out and flied out 0 for 2. Doyle excellent speed at second. Moniak good speed at first. And Goodman takes fastball away. 97 from Peralta. Ball 1.
In his last at bat, Hunter Goodman just missed it. Hit it to right field. Not that deep, but he was just a little late on the fastball. He's got great power to right center as well.
He's got a home run on his ledger against Peralta. And only 3 career at bats. He takes a changeup down. It's 2-0. So this is that inning for Peralta that you were talking about.
It's the crunch time. Pitchers know when it's happening.
And Goodman fouls off the changeup, and that one caught Alvarez.
Right in the left forearm on the deflection. So tough, this kid. I think it was left forearm. Let me see.
Not on the underside.
Yeah. That's a better side, underside, than on top of the forearm.
Well, he's got more protection on top with his play card there.
Yeah.
2 balls and a strike to Goodman, who has 6 home runs already this year, but he's also struck out 37 times in 87 bats. And that's well inside, and now it's 3-1.
Well, I don't know how that didn't hit him.
It's a lot of 8s.
Easy to remember.
Good visit by Alvarez. Big pitch coming up against a power hitter. Behind in the count, 3-1. Well, been impeccable tonight, the first 4 innings, and now we've reached that stage in the game where Peralta sometimes loses a little steam.
Well, I feel like this. If I'm facing Goodman and this Rockies team, he's going to be swinging here. Okay, so he's going to be aggressive. He wants to hit a ball out of the ballpark. He's a good fastball hitter. He does not hit anything spinning. So if you can center that slider and throw it for a strike down and away, not only will you probably get soft contact or no contact, but you might get a double play ball.
Critical juncture for Peralta, nursing a 1-0 lead. And Goodman swings and misses at the changeup, and it's 3-2.
That's what he trusts right now, that changeup.
Does he throw him another?
This is the case of doublethink, where I always tell you that he's thrown a couple of changeups. Can he now rush one by him because there's 2 strikes? And Goodman's trying to be a little more careful.
Second full count of the night for Peralta. And Goodman takes outside ball 4. He threw another changeup, but he hooked it. And there's the second walk for Freddie, and now the bases are loaded with 1 out. So now T.J. Rumfield will come to bat. Rumfield's already been on base twice tonight with a walk and a single to left. Bases loaded, 1 out. And Rumfield, first pitch swinging, fouls off the fastball.
I think the best number for a starting pitcher is how do you do when men on base. Freddie has been impeccable all year because every pitcher gets in trouble. How do you pitch your way out of trouble?
Opponents are 0 for 15 against him with runners in scoring position. And Rumfield takes a changeup down 1-1. T.J. Rumfield, his dad didn't play in the big leagues, but his dad Troy played 14 years in the minor leagues. Think how much it means to him to have his son in the big leagues. Grounded down to first, and that's a foul ball. 1-2 to Rumfield. 14 years in the minors and never got a taste.
Well, I'll tell you right now, this kid's tough then. If you got a dad that played 14 years in the minors.
This is the first batter that Peralta has faced this year with the bases loaded.
Rumfield's probably like, Dad, you should see the food they have in the locker rooms. I don't want to hear it.
Dad was working with $6 a day meal money.
Right.
Doyle at third, Moniak at second, Goodman at first with 1 out. 1-2. He's able to waste that fastball away with a half swing. Peralta with his hardest working inning by far. Bounces that slider, and Alvarez able to smother it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tyler Freeman on deck. Two coming. And Rumfield fouls back the fastball. Hanging in there.
Yeah, so he's been behind the fastball until that one right there. He was more on it. Straight back, foul back. So should be open to that good changeup now.
7th pitch of the at bat from Peralta to Rumfield. And he rolls over it. It's up the first base line. Peralta will make the play to first, but a run comes home to tie the game. Just a weak little ground ball from Rumfield. Each team has gotten a run on a ground ball. Rumfield picks up the RBI as Doyle comes home to score, and it's 1-1. Moniak went to third, Goodman to second. And now Peralta still has some heavy lifting to do. He has to get through Tyler Freeman with 2 in scoring position, and Justin Willard is going to give him a moment as he heads out to the mound.
Well, one, he's having a long inning, obviously. He's throwing a lot of pitches. He's going to give him a rest. He went over to field the ball. All of those things warrant a pitching coach coming out to give his pitcher a rest.
And I'm sure there'll be a reminder about how aggressive Freeman has been in his first 2 at-bats. Certainly expect that now with runners in scoring position, and Peralta's got a base to work with. Get to Citi Field next week when the Nationals come to town for 3 games, Tuesday and Wednesday nights, and an afternoon game on Thursday. For tickets, go to Mets.com/tickets. Peralta's already thrown 20 pitches in this inning. And he's got 1 more out to get. Freeman had a base hit to left field his first time up, 1 for 2 on the night. And he again tacks the first pitch and foul tips it for strike 1.
Peralta has had 96 when he has needed it.
And Freeman takes just off the plate, a ball on a strike. And Peralta challenged the call. It wasn't Alvarez.
The pitcher is challenging the previous call.
It's a close one.
And he gets the call. That's a big one. That's what you call a high leverage situation.
Beautiful.
Turns 1-1 into 0-2 with 2 in scoring position.
Who said pitchers can't challenge?
ABS challenge presented by Nissan. Every once in a while. Gotta trust your veterans. Now it's 0-2 to Freeman. And he dots the outside corner. Strike 3 call. Peralta limits the damage as he picks up his 7th strikeout of the night, matching his season high. Rockies get just the one, and we're tied.
Password.
Bottom 5 here in Queens. Mets and the Rockies tied up at 1 apiece. Carson Bench 1 for 1 tonight, leading off this half inning for the Mets. And I was talking to Bench recently about the biggest difference between the minor leagues and the major leagues. And he said it's really simple, actually. In the majors, you maybe get 1 mistake pitch in every at-bat, maybe. And in the minors, you'll often see multiple mistakes. So in the majors, he's just learning if you get that mistake pitch, you can't miss it. Over the last couple of nights, at least, he's doing a much better job with that.
Double and a home run last night, an opposite field single first time up in this game. Michael Lorenzen back even, gets the curveball over for a strike. Lorenzen's retired 7 in a row after the Mets got their run in the second inning. There's a good changeup, and it's 0-2. Lorenzen needed a good start tonight. Came in with the ERA almost 7.5. That'll happen to you when you pitch at altitude, but doesn't make it any more fun. That's golfed out to left field, and right there is McCarthy to grab it. 1 out.
You know, Gary, I know that was an out, but you know, he hit a home run on opening day, and we kind of saw him get out of his element, kind of a bigger swing, a longer swing for a few games. Hit a home run last night. Where's his first 2 balls hit tonight? A base hit to left field, looked like it could be a double, and then a line out to left field. So not trying to hit home runs, trying to go right back to his game plan. Love it.
It's all about the learning curve.
Yeah.
Tyrone Taylor reached on an error his first time up. Mets have had only 3 hits tonight after banging out 10 runs and 10 hits last night. And a rare time that Lorenzen's been behind in the count tonight.
It's a good pitch for Taylor to hit right here. Fastball count. Taylor's a good fastball hitter.
Lorenzen's always been a guy who will fill the zone. He does not walk many. His biggest problem is the home run ball. And that's laced and passed. Tovar into left field, a base hit. So Taylor jumping on a 2-0 pitch and lining a base hit.
Boy, Tovar, for one point, I thought he was going to get there. You know, pitching is upsetting timing. And at some point when you get in those counts, it's a predictable outcome. Not an outcome, a predictable series of events is going to happen for the hitter. They just can't miss it.
Now Ronnie Mauricio, who last year hit the longest Met home run of the season against the Rockies at Coors Field. Grounded out on the first pitch he saw tonight. Taylor taking a huge lead, and Lorenzen throws over and just missed getting him. Taylor almost hung himself out to dry.
I think what teams have not learned is that the catcher can play a part in this. If he gets too far off, the catcher should drop his glove and help the pitcher out to throw to first base.
Good block by Goodman. It was that home run at Coors last year.
I wasn't there, Gary. Was it a thing of beauty or what?
It was. It went a long way. It didn't make the upper deck, but it made the one right below. .456 feet. Mauricio yanks one foul, ball on a strike. Carlos Mendoza said the most important thing for Mauricio is to know that he doesn't need to get 2 hits to be in the lineup tomorrow, because that was the case last year. And he lines that one into right center field, falling fast. It's in for a base hit. Great read by Taylor. He'll go first to third. Tyrone Taylor never hesitated on that sinking line drive into right center, and he sprints into third with the go-ahead run.
Boy, that's some feel. First, the base hit off the end of the bat from Mauricio. Taylor read it, knew that it was going to drop in front of the outfielder, and good secondary lead produced that as well. Being an outfielder, he knows that ball's going to drop because he knows those balls drop in front of him.
So Mauricio with his second hit of the season. First one was a game winner when he was called up earlier this year. So now Bo Bichette with a chance to get the lead run in. He grounds one to short though, and Tovar with the flip, the turn by Freeman, and they get the double play to get Lorenzen through the inning. Second double play turned by the Rockies infield keeps it tied at 1. Beautiful view of the city at night. It's only the greatest city in the world.
Man, I miss it. I miss living there. Lived there for so long.
6th inning, 1-1 game. Troy Johnston will lead off against Freddie Peralta, who had a laborious 5th inning. See how he bounces back in the 6th. 23 pitches of his 80 came in that 5th inning. Johnston fouls back a first pitch fastball. Johnston was robbed of a hit on a great play by Benj in the 4th inning. Really a game-changing play because there were 2 on and nobody out at the time. Johnston takes a change up for a strike, and it's 0-2. Peralta has gotten through 6 innings only once this year. That's have Sean Manaea up in the bullpen. Ground ball off the mound right to Mauricio near the bag, and the throw almost pulled Vientos off, but he's able to do his lunge and make the play. 1 out. Probable starters for the rest of the series brought to you by Northwells Cardiovascular Institute. Weather permitting, Senga against Quintana tomorrow, McLean Sunday. Chase Dolander will be the bulk pitcher for the Rockies Sunday. Whether he starts or comes out of the bullpen remains to be seen. First pitch slider in for a strike to Kyle Karros.
After the game, you know, the guys always do a few planks to work on their abs. Vientos is always excluded. He doesn't have to.
He's already plunked. So Manaea's in the bullpen. Remember last night when Devin Williams was struggling in the 9th inning? Sean got up. And I asked Carlos Mendoza today, was he getting ready for the 10th? Or could he get ready fast enough to get in there in the 9th? And he said, Sean's done it before. We were asking him to get ready as fast as possible.
I think it helps that he's a guy that only has 2 pitches, right? So if he just gets that fastball ready.
Karros golfs one out to right. Beatty coming toward the line. Will he have room? Nope. Just beyond the sidewall. That ball kept slicing away. 2-2.
Not really windy, but it's tending to push that ball down the right field line into the stands. Make the play. Oh, brought the glove and missed.
Beatty's had a couple tonight that have just gone beyond that sidewall. A little less dangerous, deeper there with the higher wall. Karros is 0 for 2, flying to left, fouled out to first. And holds a swing on a high fastball. 3-2. Ezequiel Tovar waiting on deck. And that missed ball 4. So Karros is on with a walk, and we'll see how much further Carlos Mendoza wants to go with Peralta. He's about to throw his 90th pitch.
Left-handed hitting McCarthy on deck. Tovar right-handed hitter. Stays with him.
Well, you got the uber aggressive Tovar, who's seen 5 pitches tonight, swung at all 5. Got a base hit in the 2nd, struck out on 3 pitches in the 4th. Karros has a couple of stolen bases this year. Not a big lead at first. And Tovar swings and dribbles one up the line, and he'll beat this out for an infield hit. Ball hugged the grass. Tovar's got his 2nd hit of the night. And the Rockies have 2 men on with 1 out.
I mean, just a good pitch. Lucky for Tovar here. Well placed. And Peralta in big trouble. Looks like Mendoza's going to stick with him, though.
Alvarez looking over into the dugout as though he was expecting Mendoza to make a move. But Peralta will stay in to face McCarthy, who's 0 for 2 tonight. Had a beautiful drag bunt his last time up. It was called for stepping out of the batter's box. Bichette shortening up at third. And McCarthy lines one into right center for a base hit, and that'll get the Rockies the lead. Karros comes around to score. Tovar to third. The throw comes to second, and Karros is safe with an RBI double. And Colorado goes in front 2-1. Jake McCarthy driving in his 5th run of the year. And Peralta has seen the 6th inning blow up on him again.
Fastball right down the middle. McCarthy was ready. These Colorado Rockies are ready for first pitch fastball, and they finally get one in the gap. Good hustle. Karros is going to score easy. Tovar goes from first to third. A double from McCarthy.
Let's bring the infield in. Brenton Doyle, the batter. He squares and takes out of the strike zone ball 1 on a safety squeeze.
That's Tovar. I think he's thinking that if he gets to the wall, he's scoring, but shut down there at third base. Play was close at second. McCarthy kept the bag with his back foot.
Swing and a miss by Doyle after the bunt was on the first pitch. 1-1. You surprised that Peralta's still in this game?
I am. The only reason you can kind of think this way is that because of last night's game, he's got to push his starter longer. But Freddie is usually that 5+ innings. That's it.
And Doyle couldn't stop the swing. 1-2. So Peralta in a spot where he needs a strikeout. He's already fanned 7 tonight.
Yeah, I thought that Manaea was going to come in for McCarthy.
You got Moniak, left-hand hitter on deck. So this is probably the last man for Peralta. 1-2 coming to Doyle. Struck him out. Got him with a slider. And that's the second out. A season-high 8 strikeouts for Peralta, and that'll be the last pitch he throws.
One of the rare breaking balls that we've seen from Peralta tonight, and it finishes off Doyle.
And it finishes off Peralta's night as Sean Manaea will come out of the bullpen to face Mickey Moniak. Rockies have taken a 2-1 lead in the 6th. We'll come right back to Citi Field.
Pass.
Sean Manaea comes out of the bullpen to try and get a huge out in the 6th inning.
We'll see his numbers so far. He's been used in a way to maybe go 3-4 innings for the Mets. He's done it in the past, but he was always going to have to be used occasionally in these spots to get big outs.
Mickey Moniak is 1 for 3. He's got 2 in scoring position with 2 out. And Sean's first fastball is in for a strike, 0-1. It's been a while since Manaea has been out there. 7 days since his last appearance in Chicago when he went 4 innings. Ball and a strike to Moniak. Tovar at third, McCarthy at second. Excellent speed on the bases for the Rockies. And Moniak tries to hold the swing, and he went around 1-2. Moniak 0 for 2 in his career against Manaea. Freddie Peralta out after 95 pitches over 5 2/3. Manaea trying to save him a couple of runs. 1-2 coming. Slider struck him out. Big out for Sean Manaea as he fans Moniak to strand 2 in scoring position. Rockies just get the 1 on the McCarthy double. They lead 2-1 in the 6th.
In the city.
Health report brought to you by Hospital for Special Surgery. Francisco Lindor is going to be in a boot for the next week with his calf injury. They'll do another MRI in 3 weeks to reevaluate. But that gives you an idea. It's going to be quite some time before we see Lindor on the field again. Meanwhile, Juan Soto trying to carry the load. Leads off for the Mets in the bottom of the 6th. Soto's 0 for 2 tonight. Hit one to the warning track in the first inning. Grounded out in the 3rd. Mets now behind for the first time tonight. And Lorenzen misses with a curveball, and he's behind Soto 2-0. Soto with his 0 for 2 tonight is now 1 for 11 in his career against Lorenzen. Not too many guys hold Soto to a 1 for 11. And now Lorenzen's behind him 3-0 with Alvarez and Beatty to follow. Lorenzen's pitch count exceptionally low through just 56 pitches in the first 5 innings.
Good swing here, 3-0.
For Soto, anytime. And he rips one into right field for a base hit. So he's got his 2nd career hit against Lorenzen. And the Mets get something started in the 6th.
Well, 3-0, you got to groove a fastball. You're just happy it's a single, really, if you're a pitcher. Looked like he might have even taken a little off. They used to call those BP fastballs, trying to get the guy out in front.
Well, Lorenzen's best stock in trade tonight has been the double play ball. He's gotten a couple of them to short circuit jams. And he's got Alvarez at the plate, who was robbed of a hit on a fine play by Tovar at short his last time up. And Alvarez takes a borderline strike, and he's going to challenge the call from Nick Marley.
Hitter is challenging the strike call.
I wonder if catchers as hitters are more successful than other hitters. And he does get it overturned. Of the 3 factions, catchers are by far the most successful at overturning, then batters, then pitchers. Sorry. Although Peralta won one tonight. Grounded foul, ball and a strike to Alvarez.
I'll tell you, if I were pitching today, I would not ever challenge, because you're so invested in the pitch. You know, the catcher sets up, you release the pitch, it hits the catcher, it's perfectly executed. It could be a ball still, you know.
Soto at first and nobody out, and Alvarez lays off. 2-1. Well, I like Freddie Freeman's approach. He said, I'm not challenging all year. I'm going to save those for our defense.
I haven't challenged. He hasn't challenged his entire career. He's done all right.
That's the last I heard. And that's away, and now it's 3-1 to Alvarez. Brett Beatty waiting on deck.
Sorry, Lorenzen all game long has pitched 2 contact. He's been a little shy of contact with the first 2 hitters.
Rockies going to get their bullpen cranking. Their bullpen has been exceptionally good early in the season. 3-1 to Alvarez. And Francisco fouls off the sinker, and it's 3-2. Jaden Hill is the first man up in the Rockies bullpen. Lorenzen has not completed 6 innings in any start this year, but this has been one of his better starts so far. 3-2, nobody out. Soto at first. Not running, and Alvarez grounds one toward the hole, cut off by Karros to second one, Freeman to first, and the Rockies turn their 3rd double play behind Lorenzen tonight. 5-4-3, 2 out.
He got the count to 3-1. He threw a 2-seam sinker down and in that Alvarez fouled off, and then came back with the slider, and this was easy pickings for the Rockies. Third baseman's almost throwing this submarine with a little jump involved.
And it's the 5th double play Alvarez is grounded into. That's up among the league leaders. Lorenzen has been a master of the ground ball tonight, including those 3 double plays, 12 outs on the ground. Sailed that changeup up and away, and it's 2-0 to Beatty, who doubled and scored the only Mets run in the 2nd, and a comebacker in the 4th. And Brett takes that changeup for a strike. He didn't think so, but not going to challenge. And that's wise. Not a high leverage enough spot. 2-1. Now 3-1. So Lorenzen's been behind all three hitters in this inning. 3-0 to Soto, who got the base hit. 3-1 to Alvarez, came back to get the double play, and now 3-1 to Beatty. And Brett takes a fastball for a strike. 3-2.
That was a perfect pitch. Ran that two-seamer right to the corner.
Mark Vientos would be next. Lorenzen trying to get through 6 innings for the first time this year. Full count to Beatty. And he skies one to center field. Coming in on it is Doyle. Also calling is Johnston, and Doyle makes the catch as Johnston just ducked out of the way. So Lorenzen got behind that entire inning and got through it, facing only 3 batters. Still 2-1 Colorado. In-game box score for the Rockies brought to you by NYU Langone Health. Jake McCarthy's RBI double put the Rockies in front. 2-1 as we go to the 7th. Hunter Goodman leads off against Sean Manaea and stopped the swing on the sweeper. Ball 1. Goodman struck out, flied out, and walked 0 for 2. Manaea came in to get the final out in the 6th, striking out Moniak to strand a couple in scoring position. And drops that sweeper in for a strike. 1-1 to Goodman with Rumfield and Freeman to follow. Rockies 2 runs, 7 hits. Mets 1 run, 6 hits. We're in the 7th. And the fastball lined over short, a base hit. So Goodman is on base for the 2nd time. A leadoff single in the 7th.
Goodman can really hit that fastball. Boy, he even got this off the end of the bat and was still hit real hard. Got that in my day there was a guy named Rob Deere. Do you remember Rob Deere,
yeah.
Gary? Big strong swing. Goodman makes more contact.
He was a 2 true outcome guy. TJ Rumfield, who drove in the first Rockies run with a ground out, and he got nicked by that pitch, and he's going to first base, and the Rockies have the first 2 men on in the 7th.
I think it might have just bloused him, got his jersey. I mean, he folded like a pretzel to get out of the way.
Yeah, just nicked him. So Manaea's got a situation to deal with. First and 2nd, nobody out. Tyler Freeman coming up. Freeman is the cleanup hitter, but I wouldn't bet against him bunting in this spot. Well, you do have the left-hand hitter Johnston on deck.
I'd let him hit. He's looked good.
Mets are pinching the corners in, and he does square, and he bunts it right back to Manaea. Looks at third, but wisely goes to first and gets the out there. Goodman got a great break off second base. 1-3 on the sacrifice, moving the runners to 2nd and 3rd.
Well, there was a bunt to make the play on at third base. You're right. Goodman did get a good enough jump. I think Sean wanted to go there, but I think the events that have transpired, he just wanted to get it out.
Now the infield comes in. Troy Johnston is 0 for 3 tonight. Lefty on lefty, and he hits it sharply under Semien and into the outfield. In to score comes Goodman. Rumfield right behind him. Troy Johnston brings home a couple, and the Rockies lead it 4-1. Infield in, a hot shot. Semien not able to come up with it, and the Rockies now have a 3-run lead.
Another first pitch hit by these Rockies. Johnston lefty figured he was going to get one fastball. Ball was scalded, and Semien got the glove on it but just couldn't secure it. It was hit sharply to his right.
It's a base hit for Johnston. He drives in his 13th and 14th runs. More RBIs than any Met has. Now Kyle Karros, who's 0 for 2 and a walk. He fouls away the fastball, and it's 0-2. There's nobody up in the Colorado bullpen. It looks like Lorenzen's going to get the 7th after failing to go 6 in any of his first 5 starts. That's lined to center field, and that's going to drop for a base hit. So Karros gets an 0-2 fastball and lines it into center for the third hit of the inning. And Justin Willard will come out to have a conversation with Sean Manaea amidst the Boo Birds.
Boy, Manaea came out and got that big out to finish the 6th inning, but he has not been able to make enough good pitches here in the 7th.
He got a first pitch fastball hitting team, and it feels as though Sean's throwing too many fastballs in this inning.
And 0-2 as well. You got to make a better pitch when you've had that much experience. He knows that. I think he's got to use the top of the strike zone more as well against this free swinging team.
I mean, he's got a changeup he can use against the right-hand hitters as well. So 2 runs are home. 2 aboard with 1 out. Here's Tovar, who already has 2 hits in this game. And he takes a fastball for ball 1. Tovar had a base hit to left in the 2nd. He topped one for an infield hit in the 6th. And he actually took 2 pitches in a row. Those are the first 2 pitches he's looked at all night. Couldn't help himself.
Whatever it is, the Mets pitchers seem to get him right. Loves playing in New York, maybe.
Tovar is 3 for 10 in his career against Manaea. Johnston at second, Karros at first with 1 out, and Tovar fouls off that sweeper to stay in the at bat. Now the left-hand hitting Jake McCarthy on deck. One-two coming, and he got him upstairs with a fastball. Second strikeout for Manaea, 2 out in the inning.
Into the last 2 hits, one was the first pitch in the at bat to Johnston. That's pretty middle, and Johnston was ready to jump on top of that first pitch fastball. This one, Manaea was trying to climb up and in. Maybe you have to give credit to Karros there, who fought that 0-2 pitch off into center field.
Now we'll get a pinch hitter. Jordan Beck will bat for Jake McCarthy to give them a right-handed bat against Manaea. Beck, who played a ton last year for the Rockies, has not played much this year because he has struggled. Batting for McCarthy, who had an RBI double against Peralta in the 6th. Two out and 2 on. And Beck fouls off the sweeper, and it's 0-2. It's a curious move only because McCarthy's such a good outfielder, and you're working now with a lead if you're the Rockies.
I think if it was 2nd and 3rd, I'd make that move, but not 1st and 2nd.
Beck's a guy they've expected a lot of. 0-2 pitch. And he got him looking. Fastball caught the inside corner. Beck's going to challenge the call.
The hitter is challenging the call strike.
And it is a ball. So come on back. 1-2.
All the emotions that go through the crowd, the player who challenges, the team. It's pretty amazing.
It's good for the game.
It's good for the game.
The fact that it happens so quickly is a huge selling point, unlike replay. 1-2 coming to Beck. And he struck him out again. So Manaea with back-to-back strikeout finishes the 7th, but the Rockies add a pair and lead 4-1.
He's
Hyundai in-game box score for the Mets. Mets have had 6 hits, but they've hit into 3 double plays and have been limited to 1 run. The run came home on one of those double plays.
The young Rockies, 11 strikeouts, but 10 hits.
Jordan Beck stays in the game in left field after pinch hitting. Mark Vientos leads off in the 7th against Michael Lorenzen, his longest outing of the season, and Lorenzen gets a first pitch slider in for a strike. Vientos had an infield hit in the 2nd, struck out in the 4th, 1 for 2. Michael Lorenzen's had a lot of good games in his career, but he logged a 7.48 ERA into this game, and he has limited the Mets by keeping the ball on the ground all night. And Vientos fouls that one off his body.
Well, Gary, that's why sometimes you go after those older pitchers, and that's what the Rockies have done with Jose Quintana. Watch this foul ball first. Comes up and gets him, hits him right on the inside of the shoe. Quintana, Tomoyaki Sugano. So he was due, though. He needed a good one, because it doesn't matter if you have a veteran guy who's a class guy in the dugout and all that stuff. You still got to perform.
He's always pitched well against the Mets. He's doing it again tonight. Vientos takes one the other way, and he's got a base hit. So Mark with his 2nd hit of the night, an infield single, and now an opposite field single to start the 7th.
Lorenzen trying to get a high fastball by him in the 7th inning. Didn't have enough on it. And nice hitting by Vientos. Like to see more of that.
So now Marcus Semien, who's 0 for 2. And you know Marcus feels he should have had that ground ball hit that drove in 2 runs.
That was one of the few times that I felt like Marcus didn't pick it up off the bat. It seemed to be just a beat, because he's always almost moving before the ball comes to him.
Jaden Hill is back up in the Rockies bullpen. Semien takes a sinker inside. Ball and a strike. Lorenzen's still throwing hard. 94 is where he started the game, and it's where he still is in the 7th as Hill gets up for a 2nd time. That's now with 7 hits on the night. Benj on deck. Semien takes a slider for a strike, and it's 1-2.
That was a good pitch. Didn't get much better than that.
Lorenzen has made 16 appearances, 4 starts against the Mets in his career. He carried a 2.61 ERA against New York into this contest.
So I guess you're saying 5 starts and 5 uniforms, doesn't matter what he wears.
It's all about the laundry. He has 1 complete game in his career, and that was his no-hitter against the Nats in 2023
really?
while he was in a Phillies uniform. Two and two to Semien. And Marcus lays off, and that slider misses outside. 3-2. Tough at bat here for Marcus. Trying to get the tying run to bat if he can get aboard with Benj on deck. Mets have already grounded into 3 double plays tonight. That matches their season high.
This entire at bat, he's wanted to get Semien out with the breaking ball, with the slider. Let's see if he goes back to it. 3-2.
And Marcus skies one to shallow left. Beck coming in and toward the line. And he's there to make the catch. Vientos back to first, 1 out. Let's check out the road ahead, brought to you by your Tri-State Chevy dealers. 2 more games to go in this series. 4:10 tomorrow, 1:40 on Sunday. Then after an off day Monday, the Nats are in for 3 before the Mets make their next trip. Starting a week from tonight, Anaheim, Colorado, and Arizona on the docket. So the Mets will be done with the Rockies in the first week in May.
Well, I know Keith's got to be watching, boning up, because he is coming back in Colorado.
Says he's feeling great. Ben just hit the ball hard twice to left field tonight. Takes a changeup down. That's 2-0. And a base hit to left center in the second. Lined out to the left fielder in the fifth. Last couple of days about as good as Carson has looked at the plate since opening day. He loops that one into left center field. Beck comes over and gets there for the second out. So 2 away. Vientos still at first. And now Tyrone Taylor.
Wonder if this is one of those nights, Gary, where Luis Robert Jr. is down.
I mean, they're trying to not play him every day to try and keep him healthy. He's probably played more already this season than they intended. And Taylor tried to wait on that breaking ball and fouled it off. 0-1. Tyrone had a base hit to left field his last time up. 1 for 2 on the night. There's Luis hanging out. Slider off the plate, and it's 1-1 to Taylor. Ronnie Mauricio would be next. This is the furthest in any game that any Rockies starter has gone this season. 6 2/3. And Taylor held the swing in time, and it's 2-1. Kyle Freeland went 6 1/3 against the Astros, and now Lorenzen has lapped that. Freeland, by the way, just went on the injured list for the Rockies. Their most experienced homegrown starter. Breaking ball hit foul outside third. 2-2.
It's more looks more because he's 34 years old, like pitching you used to watch, right? A lot of breaking balls behind in the count. He's gotten double plays and used his defense well, throwing a lot of strikes.
90th pitch of the night, and Taylor swings and misses at the fastball, and Lorenzen is through 7, having allowed just 1 run. Best outing of the year for the veteran right-hander, and the Rockies lead 4-1 going to the 8th.
If your loved one was hurt in a crash.
That's Baseball on Pix 11 is brought to you by ShopRite. We are here. By Catholic Health. Long live Long Island. And by AAA Northeast, providing trusted roadside assistance, travel services, discounts, insurance, and financial services for over 120 years. Brendan Doyle takes inside, a ball and a strike as we start the 8th inning. Doyle hit one off the second base bag for a base hit in the 5th and scored the first Colorado run. They got a run in the 5th, a run in the 6th, and 2 in the 7th. As that sweeper wraps around the plate, and it's 2-1. Nicky Moniak on deck, then Hunter Goodman against Minaya, who's worked an inning and a third. Sean's given up 2 runs and 3 hits. Full count to Doyle. Minaya working quickly, and the sweeper, he just got a piece of it to stay on the at bat. That's with a paucity of offense tonight against Michael Lorenzen. Became the first Rockies starter to go 7 innings this year. See whether the Mets can do better against the Colorado bullpen. 3-2 coming to Doyle, and a check swing foul. Freddie Peralta went 5 2/3. He allowed 2 runs, 7 hits, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts. Lowered his ERA to 3.90, but he's pitcher of record on the short side. And Doyle takes outside, ball 4. So a good at bat for Doyle in the 9th spot. He's on base for the second time, and Lorenzen could not be more thrilled with his outing tonight.
Oh, it's got to feel good. You know, he's a veteran pitcher and gets through 7, ends it with a strikeout. All these young players so excited for him. He's a beloved teammate.
Now Moniak takes fastball inside. Well, it was the area where the Rockies felt as though they had improved the most. Last year, their team ERA was 5.97, just historically bad, even from a Rockies standpoint. All the runs that are scored at Coors Field. This year, coming into the night, 4.13. Moniak hooks one in the air to right center. Taylor ranges over and calls and catches one out.
I don't know, Gary, maybe they've tapped into something. Maybe a veteran pitcher, especially Quintana, keeps the ball on the ground. Maybe they're mentally tough enough to deal with the inflated ERA that comes with pitching in Coors Field. I don't know that, but
I mean, look at what Lorenzen has done. He has raised his ground ball rate significantly this year, perhaps because he's had to deal with the altitude. The results had not been there before tonight. There's Hunter Goodman, and he takes a sweeper on the outside corner. Goodman's been on base twice with a walk and a single. He got their 7th inning going with a base hit to left. Came around to score. One out and one on. And Goodman swings and misses at a fastball. 0-2. Goodman has a home run on his ledger against Minaya. 2 for 7 with 1 home run. Takes that fastball just off the plate, and it's 1-2. And Alvarez is going to challenge that call. Thought he had strike 3.
The catcher is challenging the ball call.
And he did. 2 out.
Pitcher strike.
Nick Marley's having a very challenging night. I mean, how must an umpire feel when he has to constantly turn around and say that they're challenging the call? There's C.J. Rumfield, who's been on base 3 times tonight. A walk, a single, and a hit by pitch. He's driven in a run. He scored a run. Friday nights, Mets on Pix 11 will feature Mike Trout and the Angels next week. Coverage begins at 8:30 with New York Nightcap, followed by the Cure Auto Insurance pregame at 9, and first pitch scheduled for 9:38.
9:38.
9:38. That's what it says. 9:38. Have to get on our buddy Wayne about that. 0-2 coming, fouled away.
You better make sure you get the open done in time to hit that 9:38 call.
Do you know, not only will we be going to Anaheim, and that means the Brofest, the Gelb's Randazzo Brofest, but it's also Wayne's birthday that weekend.
Jeez.
Can you imagine delayed steal attempts as that ball got away from Alvarez, and down to second goes Doyle? They'll credit that as a stolen base. His
Wayne's
6th stolen
birthday,
base. Yeah.
Gelbs and Wayne reunited.
I mean, those two are
Peaches
unbearable.
and Herb.
They're just unbearable.
Gelbs is not going to have any reports to do. Maybe Wayne will throw him a bone.
1-2 coming. Slashed foul. Well, maybe not a bone, but at least a Frank.
You know, guys, we have big plans. You want to be included?
No.
I figured.
100%.
I figure that Randazzo should at least get you an interview with Trout. Is that going to happen?
No way. Wayne's the most selfish guy I know.
He's your best friend.
Yeah, those two things are not mutually exclusive.
He got him an interview with O'Hoppe, Logan O'Hoppe.
Well,
Got
he's a
that
Long
one.
Island kid. Sure. 7th pitch of the at-bat coming from Minaya to Rumfield. Swing and a miss. He got him with the changeup. About time he threw that changeup. 5 strikeouts for Sean. Mets down by 3. Well, New York at night. It's a great place to be. Don't jump. Oh. Jaden Hill is on to pitch the 8th inning for the Rockies. And we're going to get a rare matchup in the major leagues. Pitcher wearing 0, hitter wearing 0. Hill against Mauricio. Ronnie had a base hit to right center his last time up. Fouls back the fastball. I mean, the Mets have had a couple of pitchers wear 0. Adam Ottavino and Marcus Stroman.
Yeah.
So they must have faced a 0 at some point.
You would think so.
On the ground up the middle, and Mauricio's got a base hit to start the bottom of the 8th. So Ronnie staying on the off-speed pitch there and taking it up the middle for his 2nd hit of the night.
Finds a hole, does Mauricio. Nice start here for the Mets, trying to make this comeback.
Well, this is a huge at bat for Jaden Hill because you got Juan Soto on deck. If Bichette can't get aboard, then Soto would come up as the tying run. Bo is 0 for 3 tonight after his big night last night. Bichette had 3 hits last night. The Mets haven't had a 4-hit game this year. It was their first 3-hit game in 2.5 weeks. Long hold by Hill, and Bichette finds the hole on the left side, and the Mets have the first 2 men on for Soto. Well, Mets have been hitting a lot of ground balls this season, but those were 2 hard-hit grounders that found holes.
Well, I said in the open that if he starts to pull the ball and starts to find holes, you know he's got his A swing. Big leg kick, pulls the hands in, and fires head of the bat and finds a hole.
So now Soto, who's 1 for 3 tonight, had a base hit to right field his last time up. He's now reached base safely in all 11 games he's played this year. He's got 1 home run so far this season. That came in St. Louis. Nobody out. And Soto pulls one to first, caught, and getting back safely is Bichette. A liner right to Rumfield, and Bichette just able to scramble back in. 1 out.
Let's see, Rumfield steadies himself just to make the play. Make the play first and then try to get the double play. So good base running by Bichette. And Soto's react, of course. He wanted a big hit.
So now Alvarez is 0 for 3. Francisco grounded into a double play his last time up, one of 3 the Mets have hit into tonight. Mauricio at second, Bichette at first with 1 out. And Alvarez goes after a first pitch fastball and fouls it back. So we know that in 2019, Adam Ottavino was wearing 0 for the Yankees, faced Terrence Gore wearing 0 for Kansas City. So that happened at least once. Alvarez 4 home runs on the year. And he takes a fastball high. Facing Jaden Hill from Ashdown, Arkansas.
One of the many fine pitchers out of LSU.
Threw a wrinkle that time, and Alvarez fouled back 1-2. Michael Lorenzen went 7, allowed 1 run, 7 hits, no walks, 3 strikeouts. And in line for his 2nd win. 1-2 to Alvarez with Beatty on deck. And Francisco chops 1 foul on a changeup from Hill. Mets are 1 for 5 with runners in scoring position tonight. And Antonio Senzatella, former starter, who's done well out of the bullpen for the Rockies.
Hill's an interesting reliever, Gary, that throws just about all of his 4 pitches about 20% of the time or more.
Brooks Raley getting ready in the Mets bullpen. 2-2 coming to Alvarez. And he bloops one to shallow left, coming on his back. It'll drop for a base hit. Mauricio will stop at third, and the Mets have the bases loaded. Alvarez broke his bat, but dumped it in front of Beck in left field. 3 hits in the inning, and the Mets have them loaded up.
Ball runs right in on his hands, but since it's up, the contact is up in the air, so he's able to drop that into left field. Lorenzen was keeping the ball down and in on Alvarez, and he was hitting the ball on the ground.
Remember what we talked about earlier when Beck hit from McCarthy? We wondered if they were sacrificing a little bit of defense. Beck laid up on that ball. I don't know if McCarthy gets closer to it.
He played it carefully. McCarthy is not a careful player. He just goes after everything. But that's not a slight against Mr. Beck. It's just that McCarthy is an elite defender.
Alon Leishman, the Israeli-born pitching coach for the Rockies, goes out to the mound to talk to Jaden Hill. And now Brett Beatty, who delivered the first Met hit tonight with a ringing double down the right field line and scored the Mets' only run. Now he comes up with the tying runs on base and 1 out.
Jumping on the first pitch in this homestand.
He homered last night. And Beatty rips one toward the home base hit. Mauricio is in. Here comes Bichette. He'll score. A 2-run single for Brett Beatty gets the Mets within a run. First pitch 3-run homer last night. First pitch double tonight. And now a first pitch 2-run single for Beatty to get the Mets close.
But it just felt like it was in between, and now he's gone to be very aggressive. I like the aggressive Beatty much more. Bullet to the right of Tovar, no chance. Mets inch closer. Hill's out.
It's going to be all for Jaden Hill to bring Antonio Senzatella into the game. Brett Beatty gets 2 runs in and moves the tying run into scoring position. Mets rallying in the 8th. We'll be right back to Citi Field. Mets have scored twice in the bottom of the 8th. Tommy Pham is going to run for Francisco Alvarez, carrying the tying run at second. And Antonio Senzatella, who before this year was a starting pitcher, seems to have found a home in the bullpen.
He has. As a starter, he usually featured just one kind of fastball. Now almost 80% of the time he's featuring 3 different fastballs: a 4-seamer, sinker, and a cutter.
And Senzatella having a pitch comm issue, and the question is, will he be charged with a pitch clock violation? No indication from Nick Marley. We've seen umpires be stricter about this year. Mark Vientos will be the batter. Vientos already has a couple of hits tonight, an infield single in the 2nd and an opposite field single in the 7th. And the indication from Marley is no pitch clock violation. I'm not sure how they decide that.
I think maybe because he came out of the bullpen. Gave him a benefit of the doubt.
So Pham, the tying run, is at second. Beatty, the potential go-ahead run at first. Senzatella ready to pitch to Vientos. And Mark swings and misses at a first pitch changeup, 0-1. Vientos facing Senzatella for the first time. Jaden Hill gave up 4 hits in a third of an inning. Senzatella trying to pick him up. And Vientos lines one right to the second baseman. It'll be a double play to end the inning. 2 line drive outs in the inning. One by Soto to first, and now Vientos lines out to the second baseman for an inning-ending double play. After the game tonight here on Pix 11, it's New York Nightcap presented by Nissan. Host Nelson Figueroa and Simone Eli will get you updated on the busy New York sports scene, including day 2 of the NFL draft, as well as a crucial game 4 between the Knicks and Hawks tomorrow. Tyler Freeman lifts the fly ball to left center. Tyrone Taylor eases over to make the grab. 1 pitch and 1 out for Sean Manaea in the 9th after Freeman pulled an unassisted double play to end the bottom of the 8th.
The analytics, which positioned the players, was perfect in this instance. Trying to hold the runner close in the perfect positioning to make that play.
Nothing Pham could have done as he gets doubled off second. Luis Torrens is now doing the catching. Troy Johnston the batter, and he fouls off a first pitch sweeper, knocking the mask right off Torrens. Come in the game and immediately take a hit. Luis pronounced himself okay. Manaea's already worked 2 2/3 innings. He gave up 2 runs in the 7th on a base hit by Troy Johnston against the drawn-in infield. Got it right under Marcus Semien to make it a 4-1 game. And right now, those runs are the difference in the game. To Johnston. Kyle Karros, the on-deck batter. There's nobody up in the Rockies bullpen. It looks like Senzatella got that line drive double play. We'll try and close it. Fouled off, and it's still 1-2.
But Johnston jumped throughout all over the Manaea. First pitch, fastball, middle, and hit a bullet. Somebody will tell you after the game that wish he had made that play, but it was hit awfully hard by Johnston.
In the bottom of the 9th, the Mets will have Semien, Benj, and Taylor due up. They still have a left-hand bat on the bench in Melendez and a right-handed bat in Robert. 2-2 coming to Johnston, and the slow breaking ball fouled off. Sean took something off on that one. We mentioned earlier, Johnston, we saw him late last year with the Marlins. It's hard to believe they let him go.
Yes.
On waivers.
It had to be a numbers issue for them because they acquired so many players in the offseason.
Fastball got him looking. That is 6 strikeouts in relief now for Manaea and 14 for Met pitchers tonight. Peralta fanned 8. And now Sean with a half dozen. And what do we got?
The hitter challenged the strike call.
It wasn't too late?
Oh, I think he must have challenged it right away, and the home plate umpire didn't see it. And the umpires on base said he did.
No, it wasn't even close.
Yeah.
It was a strike all the way.
Confirmed. Colorado has 1 challenge remaining.
So Johnston remains out. 2 out and nobody on.
I think there's some challenges that happen. Just guys black out. They don't realize what they're doing and just go to the helmet.
What if you're just adjusting your helmet?
Well, you got to learn not to. You got to maybe pull on your ear flap or something.
Karros has walked and singled tonight, 1 for 3. And a fastball in for a strike, 1-1. Rockies 4 runs and 10 hits. The Mets 3 runs and 11 hits. We're in the 9th. Swing and a miss and a pitch up and away, and it's 1-2.
Oh, I think Torrens forgot about how many strikes there were. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's see. We're going to see it again. I thought Luis thought there were 3 strikes.
All the challenges, you lose count.
Yeah, exactly.
1-2 coming. Hit down the right field line, foul and out of play. Antonio Senzatella has 1 save this year. It's the only save of his major league career. In that game, he went 2 2/3 to get a save. Tonight, he's been looking to go 1 2/3.
I mean, the Rockies are bullpen by ad hoc committee. But you know, just watching this game alone, good defense, play hard, guys running out everything. Warren Schaefer has them buttoned up.
Well, it's Schaefer's first full year as a manager. They've got a new brain trust with Paul DePodesta and Josh Burns running the baseball operation.
It's an organization that's lost 100+ 3 years in a row.
They haven't had a winning season since 2018, so they had to change up the program. The only thing that it felt like was holding them back was that as they were losing, their attendance was still great.
Well, they have some of the best fans in the game.
Right. So the imperative maybe wasn't there. 1-2. And he laid off on the sweeper. This is some at bat for Karros. He's already seen 8 pitches. And everything that Minaya has to offer. Fastballs, changeup, sweeper. Pitch number 9 on the way. And Karros fouled back a fastball.
I've been impressed with Eric's son, Kyle, all night long. He's played both ends of the game.
Made an error at third base early in the game, but then turned a nice double play.
Muscled the 0-2 pitch out to center for a hit.
10th pitch of the at bat, and it's inside, ball 3. Ezekiel Tovar would be next. There's nobody up behind Minaya, who's thrown 60 pitches now in relief. He hasn't pitched in a week, so he's perfectly capable of going on. Swing and a miss. Finally got him with a sweeper. 7 strikeouts in 3 1/3 innings of relief for Sean Minaya. Mets down a run as they come to bat in the bottom of the 9th. The Mets have not come from 3 runs down to win a game this year. They'll try and do that in the bottom of the 9th. They shaved 2 runs off the Rockies' lead in the 8th. Waylaid by a line drive double play. Now they'll try and get it restarted in the 9th with Marcus Semien up. And Sean Minaya goes to the rally cap. Semien 0 for 3 tonight and takes Senzatella's first slider outside for ball 1. Marcus is 3 for 12 in his career against Senzatella. Benj and Taylor to follow. He hits it in the air to deep right field. Back goes Johnston. He has room on the warning track to make the catch. Semien gives it a ride to the track for 1 long out.
And some of these outs that Senzatella has gotten. Vientos and now Semien.
And now Benj, who's 1 for 3 tonight. And he lines one right to the shortstop. Tovar grabs it, and there are 2 out. Well, Senzatella's living right. So the Mets are down to their final out. MJ Melendez is going to bat for Tyrone Taylor. I mean, Senzatella's got 4 outs on 5 pitches on 3 bullets.
I mean, the earth has been scorched.
Melendez off to a fast start as a Met. He last started in the opening game of the homestand on Tuesday night, went 0 for 2. At that point, it started 5 straight games. Now he's sat for a couple of days and being asked to keep the Mets alive with 2 out in the bottom of the 9th. Melendez takes the first pitch curveball down for ball 1. Ronnie Mauricio would be next. Senzatella living in a tree. And Melendez with an ugly cut at a changeup, and it's 1-1. MJ has 1 home run this year. Senzatella has not given up a home run this year. Skips in, and it's 2-1.
Hasn't found the mark at all with his breaking pitches, so you can really forget about those. So he's a fastball changeup pitcher.
Melendez waiting on a 2-1 pitch. He fouls off that curveball, and the Mets are down to their final strike. Melendez uses his timeout. Mets are 2-5 in one-run games this year. The Rockies are 3-6. 2-2 coming. And Melendez goes down on strikes, and the Rockies hang on for a one-run win. Senzatella gets the final 5 outs behind a strong start from Michael Lorenzen. And the Mets, after winning 2 in a row, have now dropped 13 of their last 15 as the Rockies win it 4-3.
Yeah, the big hit by Johnson in the 7th was the difference. He set up Melendez with all the slow stuff and then fired a fastball by him to end this ball game. Rockies are a feisty bunch, and they get game 1.
Mets have beaten the Rockies 8 straight times, including all 6 last year, but the Rockies get the first of this series as Lorenzen turns in his best start of the year. Peralta takes a tough loss, and the Mets fall to the Rockies 4-3. They're now 2-6 in one-run games this season. Rockies win 4-3. More from Citi Field coming right up.